Welcome everyone. In today's video, we are going to talk about academic language. We are to improve in your academic area, in your writing assignments and in your research papers, things to improve and things to focus. So we will be discussing about 4 areas to improve in academic language. We'll go and see. Okay, the very first one is formal language. Always remember when you're writing assignments or research papers, you have to be formal, not informal. Always remember that you're not speaking or you're not presenting something on a stage. So don't think that you're presenting or talking. So if you think like that, your language becomes informal. Always remember that you have to be formal. For example, if you are referring to yourself, you should not say, I am going to. You have to say, the author of this report. So likewise, you need to convert these words into formal language. Always remember that. So this is an example of a formal sentence and an informal sentence. Now, this the same thing. You see, this report talks about different issues. This is wrong. You should not write like this. There's nothing wrong in the grammar or English language. This is about formal language. So this is not formal. This is informal. You see, the words talks about different issues. Yeah. So if you can refer to this one, you see the difference. This report addresses. This is the word. This is the word that converted this sentence into formal sentence. Addresses, and you don't say issues. You highlight them. Economic, environmental, and social issues. Always remember, you have to be formal. You are in academic writing. You are on the academic writing language. This is not about English language or the fluency of your English language. This is about the way that you have to write. So always remember that when you read journals, articles, so the language they have used, the doctorate, the people who have published those information, the way the way that they have used the language is quite different to them, but we are like talking in social. So make sure that you're following the same. The more you read, the more you understand the structure and the way that they are writing. So always remember your academic language should be formal. So this is the very first one. Always remember, this is very easy to understand, because always remember, when you read your assignment, you should not feel like you're speaking or you're presenting some kind of a presentation. It is formal, because when you're presenting, of course, you have to be formal, and you have to be casual. So here you have to be formal. So this is the very first thing that you need to focus in your study or assignments or research papers. So make sure your word context is formal in language. Okay, the second one is about being objective. What is being objective? I have two sections that we can talk about: clarity and precision. The clarity, as in your sentence should be very clear. So easy to understand when your reader reads it. Like, when your mark reads it, he should understand them at the first instance. For example, let's say this is your sentence. He reads this. This is the full stop of that sentence. Now, he didn't understand what you were trying to say. He comes back here and read it again, because he had to come back and read it again because he could not understand what you're trying to say. So, in a situation like that, which if you have a situation like that, if that reader has a situation like that, which means that you are failed in explaining your context, which means that your language is not very clear. So make sure your context is very clear and understandable. You don't have to use complicated words. Always be clear in what you are trying to say, very very in a simple way. The second one is about precision. Precision, as in you need to narrow down to what you exactly want to convince. Don't beat around the bush. Just come to the point and focus on that point. Straight away come to the point and explain it. Okay? Don't So when you write this sentence, don't waste words in explaining other things. and then you finally come into the thing that you want to write. So that is not precision. Precision as in you need to be very specific. So focus on what you are going to write. For example, the ones that we have learned, the key elements. If your key elements are motivation, just talk about motivation most of the time. So very be precise all the time. So that is about the objective. Okay, now the third point is structure and concision. Concision as in, and the structure is basically the sentences. So when you write sentences, you need to structure your sentences with proper words. Okay, so always use appropriate words in your sentences. Also, the concision about you have to keep your sentences probably most of the time for 2 to 3 line max. If it's around 1.5, about 2 lines, then it's better. So make sure that you don't write a lot of words in one sentence. It should not go more than 3 lines. The reason, because the reader is not going to read those sentences, because it's too hard to understand what you're trying to say, because the sentences are very long and lengthy. So don't do that. So make sure whatever the information that should include in that sentence is very concise, reasonably shorter, not too short, not too long. So ideal lines, I would say a number of lines would be 2 to 3 lines max. Don't write like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words and complete that sentence. It is also not good. So not too short, not too long. So remember that. So you need to structure your sentences in a very impactful way. The reader would understand it in a very clear manner, because if you write a lot of words in one sentence, what will happen is it is going to be very hard to understand what you're trying to say. So, longer the word is very harder to read and understand the context of your body. The quality of your writing will again go down because it's too much to handle. So, don't let that happen. Make sure you structure and concise. Just like I said in the previous section, precise and concise, proper amount of words in those sentences in your body, or in the assignment. Actually, the body of your assignment, make sure that you balance these words in a very impactful way, where you don't get to lose marks. Make sure that you are following academic words when you're writing this also. Make sure, so don't forget the first and second section that we have talked about, you being formal and you being precise also. So by following that, focus on concision as well, the correct length of your sentences. Okay, now we are at the fourth and last point of this video, the grammar. So from the word itself, you can understand what I'm trying to say. So you have to be very careful with your grammar in your study. So before you submit your assignments, always proofread. What is proofreading? You need to reread the assignment. So you need to read your assignment before the submission. So when you read that, you would notice there are mistakes that you have done. Probably grammar or like typos, grammar issues. So make sure you polish your assignment after proofreading. So if you proofread only, you would notice this. If you reread only, you would notice these things. Make sure that your assignment is well polished in the context of. So the proofreading is important under grammar, because so that you can fix those grammatical issues that you are unknowingly updated in your assignment. The second one, softwares. Softwares, as in what are the softwares? No, imagine that you're not fluent in English. You don't have to worry, because the grammar is, you don't have to worry about grammar, because when you write assignments, you don't have to write in front of your supervisor, or I would say the marker, because they will give you a deadline, let's say 16th of December 2025. Now you have all the time you need. For example, they will give 1 to 6 months. Let's say this is a research paper, so probably you will get 6 months period. So you can always check. You have all the time that you need. So in that case, you can check grammar, even though you are not fluent in English. Even if you are bad at English, you can always check with these people, maybe your friends, your colleagues, or software. So softwares are there to help you. For example, Grammarly. Maybe you would have heard this software called Grammarly. In Grammarly, you can check this grammar. So what you have to do is, once you complete your assignment, it's just a matter of submitting your assignment to this software. There's a free version as well. So you just submit this and check. So the software itself suggests those words. Okay, in this context, third sentence grammatically incorrect. So you can fix it. So they will suggest you a few words. Okay, you can replace with this set of words. So do that. So likewise, you can fix those grammatical issues in your assignment always. Proofreading, by proofreading you can fix this issue, and also through softwares and maybe your friends who knows English very well and who can read very well and understand grammar well. So you can check through them. Friends, softwares and colleagues, anyone. So make sure, the point is, in your assignment grammar should be perfect. Don't lose marks for these stuff, because you can always check and fix these things. You don't have to have a quality, or like you don't have, this is not a skill to improve actually. This is like some simple things that you can take care of through software, even by proofreading. So this is about grammar. The highlight is, you need to have proper grammar in your words, like in your body, in the context. Throughout the assignment or research paper, grammar should be perfect. Don't miss any typos or grammatical issues in your study. Okay, now we have talked about four key things that you can focus when you're writing academic assignments about academic language. The first one is about formal, being formal. You need to use the formal language in academic assignments and research papers. Always remember that you're not speaking to someone or you're not presenting anything. So the language that you have to use is should be very formal in words and the tone. So make sure that you follow the formal way of writing. The second one is about being objective. The clarity has to be there in your sentences, and also precise. Narrow down to the point. Don't write anything else. Just focus on what you have to write. So be specific and write the thing that you want to write. Okay, probably the key elements of your study. So focus on main criteria, the key elements in your study. And the third one is about structure and concision. So this is about the balance of these words to fix your sentences. Don't write too much in one sentence, and also not too short. It's the balance. It's how you balance those words to these sentences that you have written in your assignment. So you have to be very smart. You have to be very smart enough to understand, okay, this is the correct amount of words you should update in this particular sentence. So the balance of those sentences is, we have talked about under structure and concision. And at last, we have talked about grammar. It's very simple and understandable. That you have to be perfect in grammar in your assignments, throughout the assignments, because you would get marks for grammar as well. So make sure the grammar is perfect after proofreading or checking your grammar with someone else or with those softwares that we have discussed. So this is about the academic language. It is not that too complicated if you can follow. So always remember to read these journal articles. So in those articles, the language they have used, the same thing as these four. So they are way focused. They are more focused on academic language, covering all these areas. So when you read those things, you would understand, okay, this is the structure that you have to write. This is the way that you have to write. These are the set of words that you should use. Okay, so remember to read good journals as well, so that you would get get it very easily. And also, I have, as you can see in the screen, so I have given you some, the set of words that you can use and you should not use in your academic writing. I hope this will help you as well. So I'll see you in the next video. If you have anything, any concerns, you can comment on this video.